Hello, my name's Stephen from K-Scale Models, and today I'm doing a video about the Leviathan buggy. So, you'd have seen the last video where I did the Archer and Arquebus. This is the missile-based system that I referenced in that video. So, if you didn't watch that video, you can go watch it, but the too long didn't read. I was designing my own vehicles that were supposed to fight within an O'Neill cylinder, so like a colony from Gundam, and I was thinking the Archer was to be the gun-based system, so actually tank with a gun. Then I thought, well, what about a missile-based system? Because the big thing I was thinking of is this thing's got to shoot something above it, or at least at a high elevation, because of how O'Neill cylinder is basically the opposite way round from like a planet. It curves upwards, not downwards. Unless you believe in Earth, but we'll leave that aside. So, anyway, with this, I kind of went a bit nuts because I thought, well, okay, I want to make a three-wheeled vehicle that's like got the suspension arms of the Jing Chong. So that's the tank from Gundam 00. Really like that thing, but it's got a weird suspension. So that's kind of what I've replicated here with these. I've got a sort of grill radiator on the side. On the other side, you probably can't see it. I'll just see if you can zoom in. But yeah, there should be panel lines for a fueler port. Although, what this thing takes as fuel is anyone's guess. It might be a power plug or something. Up front, we've also got a laser system on this one. I'll explain more about the other variants in a moment. Hatch for the driver, and some smoke launchers. There's also a little towing hoop at the front, or lifting lug. Actually, there's lifting lugs all over the sides of this. And that was my attempt to add some details. So again, previous video on adding something along Greeblies is adding things that make sense. So that's kind of what I did a lot in this. I made panel lines where you would have panel lines to open the vehicle up, or for maintenance, or whatever. I've got bits on it that make sense. For instance, this little pole here, that's to stop the hatch banging open and breaking all the lights. So, what's with all the three variants here? Well, this one I'm calling Hellfire. So it's got like a 4-box missile, or 2 of them, and it's meant to be sort of a tank hunter. So it's got laser rangefinder and laser targeting. It goes hides hull down, or hides behind a bush or something, and then pops out and nails a tank or 2 and runs off. Because it's wheel-based and it's just a little buggy, I'm expecting this thing to be rather fast. Although 3 wheels, so how's the handling? Well, it does also qualify for motorbike when it comes to road tax, but that's a different question. Different matter. The next one I went with is rockets. So just a quick fire support platform. It fires a volley of rockets at something and runs away. So yeah, not much to it. Same laser finder in this one, although the original one was a kit. These are the modified versions where I basically did changes to them. Now, the changes aren't that drastic. I again made the wheels smooth and just combined all the parts just to make it easier to print. The reason I'm not showing the originals off for this is they had a small accident with the floor after coming back from a model show and are in a million pieces. Unfortunately, that happens. These ones should be a little sturdier, but yeah, they've still got some weak points like these arms here. The final one is the sort of anti-ship missile. Yeah, this thing has just got 2 massive missiles. Remember, this is 1/44th scale, so that's got to be something like an anti-shipping missile or a cruise missile or something. So, yeah, the idea here is it would be a cheap way of getting ground forces to have some sort of anti-ship capability. So say they're fighting on a moon or something like that. This thing just rolls up and volleys off a bunch of missiles at a ship that gets a bit too close. So yeah, that's why it's also got a radar dish. Now this radar dish was a right pain to print, and is when I was making this in kit form, is the part that would fail the most when I was printing it out. So yeah, utter pain. But yeah, that is where the philosophy for this thing comes from. As I said, it was stripped down for the same reason that I did the Archer. It was to make it easier to print as a solid thing. And also, as I said, I was with talks with a magazine at the time, so I was thinking of like the next project for them. As I said, nothing ever happened with that, but it was a bit of fun to think about and try to work out. Anyway, after doing this, about a couple of weeks back, I joined a 6mm group for wargaming. Need to go find a local group in my area to go actually play and see what the rules are actually like and is it actually any fun. But I thought I'd just make some vehicles. So this is them all scaled down, and they've turned out rather well. Bear in mind that some of the panel lines in this, like the bigger ones, 144, were kind of at the limit of what I would say is viable. But yet, pretty much all the detail has remained. It might be easier to see on the little one, or the little white one here. Maybe not. Let's try the green one. This is a problem when you start adding camouflage patterns to them, is it breaks up the lines and you sometimes miss details. Like you can see the smoke launchers on this. You can see the panel lines on the like missile pods, even maybe the well, you can see the radiator on the side. So yeah, these have turned out quite nice, although if you're printing them, because these models are available, be aware that it can be sometimes difficult, and the back wheels can break off, and also make sure you support the little part within there, because it will not auto support into there because it thinks it's already got support for reasons. I don't know, slicers can be a bit funny sometimes. As I said, these files are available. They are paid, but they're 40 pence or 45 pence, so they're not a huge expense. These, the actual model kit for the Leviathan that's up, that's a little more expensive, but it's not too much, and considering you get the ability to make all of these and have the radar dish. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you've got the ability to make all of these and have the radar dish on any of the ones you like. Fair enough, you can have a bit of fun with that. For now though, thank you for watching.